screen. Terrible that way. Good signal that way. Points on. Hear that? That's saying iron. Hello everybody and welcome back to England's history. I've just got my hands on the new Nokta Accupointer. It's a pinpointer with a lot of features and it looks the bee's knees. I've been out with it about 3 times now, giving it a good run in the field, see how it performs. So far so good. It's been performing really well. I'm really impressed with it, to be honest. It's a 20 kilohertz. It runs at 20 kilohertz, which is a little bit more sensitive than most pinpointers. I think most pinpointers are about 12 kilohertz, maybe 15. This is 20, so it's a bit more. When I heard it was 20 kilohertz, I liked the idea of that because there's so many times, especially with this Manticore I've got and some of the other machines, but the Manticore is really sensitive to these tiny targets, and some of the other pointers I've used. Trying to getting a signal with the metal detector, going over it with a pinpoint, and I can't get it, so I have to pick up the mud, put it over the coil because the metal detector is more sensitive than the pinpointer. I'm hoping with the 20 kilohertz it's going to be a bit easier to find the tinier targets. I'll do a little test in a minute on the video and just see what I've got the MI6, see what that's like with tiny bits of foil and stuff, which could be tiny little bits of gold or hammer coins, and see if the Accupoint is actually more sensitive for the smaller targets. Just speeds up your process while you're metal detecting. Recording. Okay, so we've just got this tiny bit of tin foil, about the same size as a cut quarter. I don't know if you can see that. It's only small. Well, this is where I think the 20 kilohertz is having an advantage. So we've got the MI6. I'm not slagging the MI6 off or any other pinpointers. They're brilliant, but sometimes you need that extra bit of sensitivity off the kilohertz. So MI6 pinpoint, the foils there. You can't get it. Keep that there. Keep rolling. The Accupoint, sensitivity of 6. Not so sensitive on the end, but the tip, it's definitely picking it up. So that has got a slight advantage over the lower kilohertz pinpointers. I'm glad that's done that because I was just saying it in the video before I'd done the test. It was just the way it should work because the high kilohertz, it should be easy to get the tiny targets. So that's just going to speed up the process when you're out in the field. So brilliant. So yeah, the Accupoint is we go through. We'll open the box. We see what's inside the box, and then we go through all the spec, and then we go in the field, see how it works. It's what I like about this as well. It's got discrimination, so it gives you a different tone for. You can have different settings. You can have it so it just beeps like normal pinpointers. You can have it so it beeps and just completely ignores iron, or you can have it so it beeps a certain way on non-ferrous and beeps a certain way to identify ferrous, iron. So it gives you, there's 3 different options there for the audio. But yeah, let's have a look inside the box, see what we got. So here it is, we've got the Accupoint. Let's see what's in the box. I believe the built-in battery. I have used this, so there's going to be a few signs of wear. But even though I've given it a bit of abuse, I've given it a clean obviously, there's no signs of wear on it yet, but it's early days. What's good is inside the box you get extra tips that fit on. So if you ever, because it's always the ends that wear, so that's handy that you can, it's on there nice and solid, but you can give it a good yank, pull that off and change the tips, which is good. So there you get the pinpointer, obviously, holster, a stretchy lanyard. You just open that up, slide that on there, and that'll just stick onto the end of there, and that usually clips onto your belt or your fines pouch. stop you losing it. You always want to have a lanyard, because so many people that don't have the lanyard lose their pinpointer, and you don't want to do that. Get it all out, get it all out. So there's the extra tip. There's a spare O-ring, which is handy. So if ever these get slightly damaged, or there's grit on them and you can't clean them off, replace that. That keeps your pinpointer waterproof. The waterproof is 10 feet, 3 meters deep. Don't go any deeper than that. USB-C to USB charging lead, which just connects. This is what I like about this one. All of the other pointers have got a long thread, and they always get messed up. So this is just a half turn, and it comes off. Yeah, so there's the rubber that you would replace if you've got any damage on that. Replace it. Always make sure it's clean. If you're going to go in water, which I've just noticed there's hair on there, and if there's a hair coming across that rubber and you tighten it up, that's a chance where water can ingress. So if you're going to go diving or in the sea or anything like that, always make sure the O-ring's clean. Inside the back of the pointer, if you want to get to the charging point, this is to amplify the audio, so it's nice and loud. It's like a little speaker cone. That comes off, and then you've got your USB-C port there. Obviously, connect that in, connect the other end to the battery, to a charger, and charge it up until the lights indicate it's charged. But that's really easy, can't go wrong there. That just drops onto that, and that just quarter turn, that's done. So that is everything that you get in the box. You obviously got the warranty and a few instructions in there, which I'll have a quick flick through just to refresh what I've been doing, but it's quite self-explanatory. And we see what this actual pinpointer features it's got and see what it can do. Right, let's have a look. Right then, let's take a look at the features and functions on the Nokta Accupointer and go through the menu, see what it's capable of. Firstly, turn it on. There's the on button just there. Tap it once, and it comes on. And it's always loads up your previous settings that you was using. To go into the, if you look at the bottom, it's going to be hard to see because the screen's quite bright. But the bottom left, you've got a quick refresh, and also it's a calibration. So if you see, that's picking. If I calibrate, by pushing the button once, a quick tap, that calibrates it out. So it won't get it now because I've recalibrated it to only pick it up at a certain depth. So if you've got a lot of mineralisation in the ground, and everywhere you put your pinpointer in, if it's going mad, tap the button once and it will calibrate. If you want to uncalibrate it back to where it normally should be performing, tap the button once and it's back to normal depth. Okay, so the calibration and a refresh is the first button, just from a quick single press. You'll see it go light as you do it. To turn it off, you just hold it until the red bar starts to move. As soon as the red bar starts to move, let go and it will turn off. Turn back on. And then lastly, for your settings, you hold the button down until the far right bar, it's a cog on the far right, until that lights up. 1, 2, 3. There you go, into settings. Okay, firstly you've got sensitivity. Hold the button down for 3 seconds and it goes in sensitivity mode. By tapping the button once, it selects the different options and you just stop on where you want it to be. I think I was happy with 6. The next setting is your audio and vibration. You can either have vibration only, audio only, or both. I'd like to use both. Wait 5 seconds and it'll go back to the menu again. The next button is your discrimination. You can have 2-tone, 1-tone, or iron off. With iron off, you'll get a beep for the non-ferrous targets only. The ferrous iron targets, you won't hear nothing. probably not the best way to search, to be honest. It's probably, for me, I wouldn't search like that. The other option is iron and ferrous and non-ferrous targets all sound the same. And then the other option is iron targets, the iron and your ferrous targets go beep, 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 like a pulsing sound. And then your non-ferrous targets will give a normal beep sound, which I'll show you now. So back into the menu, go to the ferrous, hold the button down. So that's ferrous off. There's your iron audio. So this is ferrous. And this is a gold ring. Constant sound. That's where I would say to use it. But you've got the option if you want. If I go to change it to a one tone, everything will sound the same, look. That's your iron nail. Everything sounds the same. And if I want to turn the iron off, which I don't think is a very good idea, turn the iron off. You just don't get nothing for iron. Only the good targets will come through. So there's the three options for your discrimination. Personally, I would use number 2 on your discrimination. That way you get the funny sound for iron and a good sound for non-ferrous. Next option is your Bluetooth. You can connect the Accupoint to a Bluetooth device. If you want to, this is not just for the Nokta machines, you can connect it to all machines that are using the Bluetooth and the Bluetooth headphones. If your headphones need to have, I think, I'm not sure on this, but they need to have a dual channel. So that means you can connect, most of your more modern Bluetooth will have this, the headphones, but it means that it can connect to the metal detector and to the pinpointer at the same time. So then when you turn on your pinpointer, or if you set it all correctly, you turn on your pinpointer, your metal detector will go silent and you'll only hear the noises in your headphones from the pinpointer. As soon as you turn the pinpointer off, obviously you won't hear nothing from the pinpointer. It will switch back to your metal detector and you'll carry on searching and only hearing the metal detector audio. So that is a massive feature for a pinpointer. That's really good. And a lot of the machines on the market today are Bluetooth. Unfortunately, the metal detector that I'm using at the minute is the Minelab Manticore, and for some reason Minelab have changed from Bluetooth to their own cryptid, or whatever it's called, Bluetooth, so we can't use this with the headphones, which is not very good, Minelab. Not very good. Right, and back to settings. Where was we? We was on Bluetooth. The next one is your frequency shift. This can come in very handy. If your pinpointer is messing, is falsing for no reason, you know, it's just going beep, 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 going off, and you're like, why is it doing that? It might be because you're getting a slight interference from another metal detector or another Bluetooth device or different EMI from different electrical items. So you can just do a quick frequency shift, which is going to be like a 20.1, 20.2, 20.3 kilohertz, just a slight shift. But I've been using it in the middle at the minute and it's been absolutely fine. Okay, the next option is your torch. Go into the settings, torch on, and that is a bloody bright torch. So let's turn that back off because that's a bit bright. And the next one is volume. You want it to be loud. You've got two options, low or high. Just leave it on high. You want it to bang out and you want to be able to hear it nice and clear. And then the brightness, you've got two options on that. This is for the LCD brightness. Off or very dim and bright. Leave it on bright. It's nice to be able to see exactly what's going on. And then last but not least is a factory reset. When I first got this pinpointer, I was faffing about. I don't know what I changed. I changed something in the settings. I might have had it on too sensitive or something like that. And it was because I was so close to the metal detector. It was picking up interference from the metal detector. I tried a frequency shift. It was still picking it up and it was going off. So I just went into the factory reset, pushed that, put my sensitivity exactly where I wanted it, and it was absolutely fine. So it's handy to have that little reset if you want it, which is at the very end. So that is all the features and functions and the changes you can do on the Accupoint. It sounds like, I know some people are going to be saying, well, there's too many settings on that. All I want to do is turn it on and get a target and then off to the next. And that's exactly what you'll do. You just set it up exactly how you want your pinpointer to work. It will save all the settings that you've set it as. And then, so now that's gone. Let me just turn that off. So all the settings have been done. I've got it how I want it. I'm happy that's how I want to use it in the field. You're very unlikely you're going to need to change anything on that again. So all I do then, if I want to get a signal, turn it on. Iron. So there's ferrous iron, and then a good target, non-ferrous. Simple as that. So yeah, you might be thinking, I don't need all them settings. It's good to have them. It's good to have all them settings, all the options. Set it up how you like it, and it's just a straightforward pinpointing then, because you've changed it to suit you. Then off you go in the field. But I've had no problem with it at all. I don't like to have my pinpointer. Sorry, the noise. The reason of a pinpointer is to have it so you can locate a target with precision. Everyone's different, but for me, if you've got your sensitivity whacked all the way up to max, I think it was 9, you've got more chance of interference, and also you're probably going to get that sort of depth, probably more than that on a large target. And if you've dug your hole 6-8 inches round and you've put your pinpoint in there, because it's so sensitive, you're not going to be able to tell properly where it is. So at the minute I've set the settings down to 6, and it just seems to be working absolutely beautiful. So yeah, that's the Nokta Accupoint in the house unboxing and a look at the settings. Turn that off. I've just written down the spec. A quick little look at the spec for the nerdy people that want to know everything about it. So here we go. It's a 20 kilohertz VLF operating pinpointer. It's a waterproof rating. It's an IP68, which is 10 feet up to 3 meters. You've got 9 levels of sensitivity. You've got audio, vibration, or both. Colour, LCD screen. It's got discrimination. It's got Bluetooth. You can do a frequency shift. It's got LED flashlight, which is bloody bright. You've got volume control. You've got a backlight, which you can adjust on the LCD screen. You've got a lost alarm, which I didn't mention which is a good job I've got this bit of paper. So if you haven't put your landlord on, like I said you should, and you've got your pinpointer out, you've got your target, you've put it on the ground, you've walked off, and you forgot about it, and you've left it on. I think it's in 5 or 10 minutes time, but after it's been sat there for a while, and you're like, where's my bloody pinpointer? It's got a lost alarm, so it will start going beep, 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 and you'll be able to locate your pinpointer. That's a great bit of kit that you don't want to lose. Okay, so we've got the lost alarm. There's a battery inside this, which is a 1650 milliamps an hour lithium polymer rechargeable battery, which you can get up to 25 hours of use out of the pinpointer. It uses a USB-C charger. Working temperatures. It's advised that you don't use the pinpointer, which is sorry about that. Same as most pinpointers, electrical goods, below freezing. I was out in it the other day and it was at -4. And as I mentioned just in my video, I was either too sensitive and too close to the machine, or it was getting affected by the freezing temperatures. I think I was -5 roughly in the field. So it might have been that was doing it. But after I'd done the refresh, it was fixed, so it shouldn't be that. but that's just the working temperatures from -4 up to 122. You get 2 years warranty, and also on the side of the Pintointer, I'll show you on there, maybe you can see that, it goes 8, 10, it's about 9.5 inches, and you've got the inches and centimetres on the back of the Pintointer, which would be good for me for doing my testing, depth tests and stuff. Speaker outlet there, which has got a gland on, stops the water ingression, and also keeps it loud. So yeah, let's go and have a look. I've done some video in the field, just having a little play with it when I first got it. Let's go and have a look at that, see how I got on. Right then, see you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've got a signal with the Manticore. It's a bit ropey, bouncing all around the screen. Terrible that way. Good signal that way. Pointer's on. Hear that? That's saying iron. There could be 2 targets in the ground, but I think it's just going to be big iron. Yeah, there it is. See the link there? It's a big rusty chain that goes back, but that's the difference. You've got a good target, which is, let's get some out of my pouch, and some foil, and then you got that. So that's quite good. I like that. Helps you identify what's in the hole. If there's iron on that. I'll speak to one of my mates. He's got one of these Nokta Accupointers, and he dug down. You know, we've all done it. You dig down about 2 foot. You got a good signal, and you think, oh, it's just going to be big iron. And if you haven't got that on the iron mode, and you put your Pintointer in, and you go like that, and it's everywhere, and it's 4 inches off the ground, and it's still beeping good, you think it's just a big plate of iron. But with this, it will tell you if it's iron or not. So when he was doing that, and it was still a good signal, he went down and down and down. It was as deep as his arm, up to his armpit, and it was a horde of axe heads. So, you know, it can work in your favour. You can't rely on what the Pintointer is telling you 100% over your metal detector that you paid £2,000 for, or whatever you paid. So it's only, again, it's only a guide, but it's an aid that will help you out in the field. Like then, it sounded crap on the detector, good one way, but really bad the other way. Dug down, got a signal, and it was telling me it was iron, and it was correct. So, well done. So if you're thinking of a Christmas present, someone wants a new Pintointer, this is definitely up there. This is up there with the MI6 and the Garrett. I personally, I liked the Garrett, but it wasn't my cup of tea. It's a good one, but I don't know. When I got the MI6, I absolutely love that, and that is a great metal detector. But the only thing that pees me off is the screw cap at the end. I've had to get about 4 now, and it's, unless you get them little tiny screw lines lined up perfect, it cross threads. So now my waterproof metal detector that I like to go in the water isn't going to be waterproof. So that XP or whoever makes future Pintointers, if you're allowed to nick it, that design is absolutely fantastic, because you just put it in the groove, twist, quarter of a turn, and it's locked in nicely. So that is another good point. I'm waffling now. Yeah, I had to get one. There's a few people, the beta testers have been using these. Obviously they're going to really rave about it, but one of the lads that I know very well has got the he had one of these early, and he was buzzing about it. He's like, Sid, get one, you've got to get one. So I took the plunge, I went and got one, been out of it a few times, and I'm very happy with it so far. Very nice. Thanks for watching. I'll let you get on with it now. Lots to do. Christmas is coming. As you can see, the decorations are starting to go up. So I wish you all a massive Merry Christmas. I hope you have a lovely time Loads of nice presents off Santa. Maybe, if you're lucky, you get an Accupoint. See you soon.